When last we left off, the party encountered a lich and was rescued narrowly by a band of druids who fled Philorana's Grove. You guys have been sleeping through the night, and I know Gaelen wanted to do something during the night, so we'll start with that.
So Gaelen drew something in the middle of the night, and then he woke Skippy for Skippy and Grun's watch, just to get Skippy's help with something for a moment. He will wake Grun so that Grun can join Skippy for their watch. Good morning, King Grun.
Good morning, Gaelen. Oh, man. Doesn't seem like we slept for long enough after all that.
Well, that might be because we battled a lich in the middle of the night, but all is well. I've kept an eye on a few of our folks to make sure they're doing well. I think Kin Freddy will recover nicely. I was thinking of you during my watch.
Gaelen, you're an attractive individual, but, we haven't known each other that long. It's all very sudden.
Skippy will giggle to himself.
Are you talking about sexual attraction, King Grun?
I'm sorry, please forgive me. It's been a long few days, and I couldn't resist the little jibing.
No, that's quite all right. No, I was thinking about you because I guess I'm not that embarrassed to say that if I have a friend that is the closest, it is you. I don't form very many particularly close friends, so it has been concerning me lately that you have been having, it's not overstating to say you've been having a bit of a crisis. And so during my watch, I thought about you, and I thought about that. And I thought about talking with the tattooist, and I'm not sure if you met him. He wasn't able to tell me too much, but he was able to tell me a little bit. See, I haven't been particularly interested in the deities. They just feel to me like they're for other people. But I have shown some interest in the Stormlord. So I asked him about him. I got a very little bit of information, but anyway, I was inspired to draw you something. And Gaelen will hand you a parchment.
I helped with that. I helped.
I asked Kin Skippy to tell me how to write the writing in Halfling, because it is a language that both of you share, and that most people don't. So it is something a little bit more personal for you. Perhaps it'll give you some things to think about.
You know, Gaelen could tattoo it on you.
Grun kind of smirks a little bit. He says, "You know what? Perhaps, given what happened the last time one of us got a tattoo, let's wait until some more of us have the healing persuasion back before we attempt that a second time around."
Oh, that only happened because we were being careless and trying to do it very quickly. That wouldn't happen again.
This is true. We are never careless. That was just a one-off. We can't ever foresee that happening.
And besides, Canary can fix us up no matter what happens.
Yes, this is true.
Aries glaring at you all from across the glaring.
Is Freddy in your lap, lap pillow style while you're glaring at us?
Yeah, pretty much.
Fantastic.
Just chilling out.
Kin Grun, Kin Skippy, I hope your watch is uneventful. I'm going to continue my rest.
Gaelen, thank you. It is not odd that you would call me friend, as I would call you friend as well. You were my first friend that I made, and you will always be a friend. I thank you for your concern. This has been a problem for me, an upset for me greatly, the loss of Kellum the Clutches. It does bother me greatly. I'll take heed of your words and counsel.
You're most welcome, Kin Grun. I'm happy to talk about the Stormlord anytime you wish, or just listen. Good night.
And I'm going to grumble to Freddy that as soon as we get to a town, I'm going to offer to buy those two a room.
Skippy wipes a little tear away from the side of his eye.
It's you and I on watch now, right?
That's right, yeah.
Well, Grun's going to turn to Skippy as well and say, Skippy, thank you as well for that. That means a whole lot. I know this trip hasn't been great for you either, so it means a lot to me that you still take time to concern yourself with my struggles.
I did? Thanks.
Well, you said you helped, correct?
Yeah, I wrote the words.
Well, I appreciate it.
You can write?
Well, out of character.
Gaelen wrote the words. Skippy helped him figure out what letters in what order.
Yeah, but I've always said he can't write.
He didn't write. Gaelen wrote out all the letters he knew, and Skippy knows the letters to look at them. So Skippy said you put that one first, and then you put that one, and then that, and you were like pointing on a sheet at what letter Gaelen had to write out in the right order.
Yeah, well, there might be a few letters that are backwards and forwards.
It's not exactly spelled correctly.
Grun got the gist. Yeah, he figured out what it was trying to say, and the sentiment meant more than the grammar.
Kellamvor can be fawned within the Storm Lord.
Yeah, with on. During Grun's watch, Grun will say his regular prayer to Kellamvor, and at the end, he will also pray to the Storm Lord that if he's listening and if he's seeing what's going on, pleading for him to intercede once more and lend his assistance to this and the many other worlds that are being impacted.
You get no response at all.
And there is zero reference to the other guy in the prayer.
Yeah, that's fine. This is the point where the conversation that you have in private messages occurs, though.
Yeah. No, I figured, but he's going to send his first prayer to the Stormlord.
And so the rest of the watch goes on uneventfully, thankfully. And when you guys wake up, the druids are already awake and have been for some time. And they're kind of off by themselves discussing things.
Grun would like to go over and ask, may I ask, do you know how many of you made it out?
Ariadna says, unfortunately, we don't. The scene was rather chaotic, and I was just discussing with my kin here that I should return to the area of the grove and find those I can to ensure as many druids are safe as possible. In the meantime, my plan is for them to also disperse through the jungle and gather more allies, for I believe that you will need them. The undead do not sleep, and the fact that that abomination did not return after we arrived makes me wonder, is he gathering his strength as well? I will do everything I can to waylay his forces and give you swift passage, and I'm not happy about the recommendation that we have agreed upon for you, but I see no other way. It will not be safe, but we told you to skirt around the fallen ruins of Cielosita earlier, but given the change in your situation, I believe you must enter, for that undead would not dare follow you in there.
What lies in there that would so terrify the undead?
When the city collapsed, when holy magics failed, the arcane magic that was also tied to the city broke, and waves of power erupted from the city, changing the jungle around it. There are gateways there, and she looks at Fredwin. This is what your animal familiar sensed and was troubled by. There are many gateways to the Feywild there, and they are not easily spotted. Should you stumble into the Feywild by accident, you may never find your way back, and that would terrify the undead who pursues you.
Kind of terrifying us too, I think.
What's the Feyworld like?
It is a realm not unlike our own, except to say that everything is slightly more fantastic and magical. There are creatures in there unlike any that you would find in this world, and not all of them are kind. If you decide to take this path instead of skirting around the city, there may be benefits, but there will also be perils. For one, time does not work the same way in the Feywild, so you would get potentially a large distance between yourself and the undead who pursues you. However, the Fey themselves are not to be trifled with.
Are you friends with the Fey?
No one is friends with the Fey, not truly.
Yeah, well, I mean, we just got attacked by a lich that just about destroyed all of us. So, I'm thinking 6 one way, half dozen the other.
That was our thinking as well. We realize that it is danger, but I believe the danger is less than facing the undead if he is gathering his strength.
I'll take the book through the ruins.
How much time would we save by going through as opposed to skirting around?
It is difficult to say. In our time outside of the Fae, it would certainly save you several days, as the path is more direct. There is the issue, however, that none have ever successfully traversed Cielosita.
Oh, little issues.
Maybe it's so nice no one would want to leave what's there, and that is why no one has made it out.
I feel like that in and of itself is a problem.
I mean, where we are now ain't so nice, though, if you think about it.
But they might not notice somebody really small like me.
But we all have to be able to get through to the other side, which we would all have to go. Tigers, leopards, wagons included.
And where you and this book go, Kid Skippy, so do I.
Yeah, we're, at this point, we're delivering that book.
I can't guarantee your safety, though.
No one ever did when we started out.
You guaranteed my safety to begin with?
Because I want a refund,
I was going to say, clearly not.
Well, so far we're all still intact.
by some definitions of the word.
Well, I think that we should pack up then and get going before they catch us here.
So, you will take the path to Cielosita then?
We'll take the path there. I think we can at least discuss along the way whether we're going to go through or around, but we can at least head off there and waste no more time, at least starting our travel.
Then I will share with you what little I do know of the Feywild, and hope that it may be some help. From what I have gathered with the few interactions I have had with Fey creatures, there are at least 7 rules that you must heed at all times in the Feywild, so please do not forget them.
Hold on. Sorry, I want to write this down.
You can write?
You can't write, Skippy.
Grun, though, pulls out a bunch and is just like, okay, hold on then, because we are definitely jotting these down for everybody.
And this first rule is the most problematic of them, and it is that every rule has an exception.
Okay, we're off to a good start.
Including the first one?
Perhaps it is difficult to tell, but from my interactions with them, these rules mostly hold true. There have been exceptions to all of them, however, and so it is not easy enough to say that all Fae are the same. The second rule is that everything has a cost.
What kind of cost?
Not monetary. The Fae care very little for worldly possessions.
Bless them.
You might not say that after you meet them. They are more interested in long-term costs and favors.
Like helping them move?
That is oversimplifying it, but yes. The third rule is that perception can be reality, so always try to see truly.
What does that mean?
It means, my small friend, don't let your imagination get the best of you when you're in the Feywild.
Skippy will gulp visibly.
Number 4, and I must stress this completely, never give what you can't afford to lose, including your full, real name.
Which name? I have a lot of names.
If you give them a nickname, that will suffice. If you give them your true name, that becomes problematic. Your wizard friend here, I'm sure, can teach you more about the ways of summoning creatures from other realms and controlling them if you know their name. The 5th rule, look for the trap behind every word.
Oh, I'm good at finding traps.
Are you saying that these creatures are consistently untrustworthy?
The Fae never lie. They omit. They will use tricky wording when speaking with you to try to ensnare you in a trap where you will owe them something. but they will not lie to you. They tend to mistrust mortals of our realm because we do lie, and they have little tolerance for that.
I tend to take everyone at face value. Is this going to be a liability?
Definitely.
You probably want to let Ari do the talking.
What? I don't trust any right now.
Well, I'm just saying.
Exactly why
Be careful.
you do all the talking.
The sixth rule is if it looks safe, it probably isn't.
And what if it looks unsafe?
Then it isn't safe. Well, that's the rule I live by anyway.
It is a good rule to live by. The final rule is that beauty is a poison that cannot be cured.
Skippy just looks mesmerized by his words.
Any idea what that one means?
I can think of a lot of cures for beauty.
So, do you think that that might extend to other things that we might be enamored with besides beauty?
Yes,
Well, that is good. I am generally immune to such things.
Having heard all of these rules, I'm less interested in taking the straight path and more interested in thinking of a third option.
These rules do not overly concern me. The first 4 are rules I live my life by. Some of them are the latter ones, but they confuse me, but I could learn to understand them, I suppose.
I'm just thinking, I've met a few Fae. They're tricky, but I've also met a few zombies, and they're very bitey.
You're saying you prefer tricky over bitey.
Absolutely.
That wasn't what you said last night.
Oh,
Fredwin turns 3 shades of red.
So does Skippy.
Grun looks to Gaelen to see if he has to explain things.
I think Galen's just gonna look confused. What? Last night he liked zombies better? Strange.
Grun sighs of relief, not having to explain anything. Well, how long is it until we reach the edges of the area where rifts can be?
from here you are probably looking at approximately a day and a half of travel.
Okay, so we can start traveling and figure out what we want to as we go. We're still moving, because like you said, these undead don't sleep, so they're going to keep moving and moving as well.
That would be wise. If you have no further questions of me, I will return to my grove.
Do you have any wisdom on what that last rule means?
It means that the Fae and creatures in the Feywild will appear beautiful to each of you in its own way, and that is a way for them to entice you to stay. For the Fae love nothing more than to keep their pets.
Do you know of any beings of Fae that should be completely avoided? Any either nicknames of them? Obviously, you would likely would nicknames they go by that would just run the other direction if we hear.
The Feywild is an interesting area that I have not entered, but the Fae that I have spoken with in the jungle surrounding Siloseta have told of other extra-dimensional beings who traverse the paths around and through the Feywild, demons and devils and all sorts of magical beasts. There are elves aplenty, although some of them are quite different from the elves you know here, and not at all welcoming to outsiders.
Are they going to attack us?
It is a possibility.
Only once, Skippy.
Well, I'm not sure that's comforting.
It's not really. That means that if our luck is poor, which I can't say it's been great, we could possibly encounter more than just the Fae in our attempts to head straight through. And you said several days of time could be saved if we manage to get through without any troubles. We have several days.
That's right. And also you would lose the undead that is following you because he would not dare go in there.
The only question is, what else would we lose?
The other question, too, is what's on the other side when we come out?
If you manage to make it through the ruins, there is a road that heads northwest directly to Velshani.
Yes, it seems we have quite a bit to gain by taking the risk.
It almost does seem so.
And I want to see how pretty the Fae are.
And these Fae, you say they take pets. They don't want to let them go. But do they keep them well or in torment?
I have heard that to dance with the Fae is to know an existence of mindless peace and joy.
I'm sold.
Grun doesn't like the mindless part.
That sounds like what that guy on the corner kept trying to sell me with mushrooms.
Perhaps these Fae will have some mushrooms.
Well, the best of luck to you, no matter which path you decide to take in the end. Hopefully I will see you again in Velshini. And Ariadna transforms into an eagle and flies away.
Man, I gotta learn how to do that.
Fly like an eagle.
Well, I suppose there is nothing else but to get on our way.
Yeah, might not be a bad idea to see if we can go at a bit of a quicker pace than we usually travel at as well.
I don't think we can do that. We need to find food for the animals.
I am feeling like there just may not be any such food in these woods.
Maybe we'll have better luck in the Fae.
But Jinxie's hungry.
How hungry?
Are the druids already gone?
Yes, the druids have left.
Will like a halfling-sized snack, tie them over for a while? How hungry are we talking?
Well, he keeps looking at me and licking his lips, so I don't know. It could happen any minute.
Well, we do have one tiger that fell in the battle last night.
That's true. All right, can we load the tiger? Oh, we don't want to do that in the back of the wagon. We'll smell like blood forever.
Yeah, not getting that out.
I know what to do. We have to use one of the trees in our rope and tie it up and cut the blood so that it'll come out. And then we got to cut the skin off.
I will help him on his survival check.
Okay.
Do we have time for that, or should we just let them eat it the way they would naturally, ripping in and eating it?
There is more than they need here for one meal.
That's true. Ryan, about how far ahead of the horde are we? Do we know?
No, you have no idea. Like Ariadna said, she was surprised when the undead did not attack again during the night while you had your long rest.
Can we just throw it in the cart? I mean, in the wagon.
Yeah, maybe just gut it here, leave that, and then throw the tiger in, and we can do what we can from the back of the wagon while we're moving.
Sure, Skippy can probably field dress it from the back of the wagon.
Gonna be messy.
Fredwin, do you have prestidigitation?
I think he has mage hand. The mage hand can clean it up.
Sure, we can give it a scrub brush.
No, I always have prestidigitation. It's the best thing ever.
Oh, thank you. All right, so our cleanup problem is solved. So just got it here, and we'll do the rest of the dirty work in the wagon while we're moving.
And you can make the wagon smell really nice too.
Just don't use that prestidigitation on me.
You would know if I did.
Oh, please, for the rest of the party, please.
Skippy will get to work field dressing the thing in the back of the cart, and I rolled a 16 for that.
Yep, you do a fine job. You don't wind up spoiling any of the meat or anything, and it's all cut up. And are you feeding any of it to the cats now?
Yeah, I'll feed some pieces to it. What they can handle while walking.
Okay, yeah, they eat it up quite eagerly. They've been pretty hungry. Okay, so are you guys going to be traveling at your normal pace, or are you going to be traveling at a fast pace, pushing the tiger that's drawing the wagon?
If they're that hungry, we probably shouldn't push them.
Yeah, but we're being chased by zombies.
Can we travel for longer rather than harder?
You can.
Doesn't that risk exhaustion?
I mean, either way will risk exhaustion. If you push the tigers hard, they can't travel for as long before they have to stop.
It seems like we ought to be able to find a decent night's sleep to get rid of exhaustion.
Oh, you mean like last time?
But yeah.
Well, maybe if we're close enough to this field of rifts, the undead would be more wary about approaching. Enough time for us to rest long enough for the tigers, us to decide what to do.
It's a day and a half away, she said.
It's true.
But just a day if we push, right?
If you pushed either way, traveling faster or traveling longer, you will be making exhaustion checks, or the animals will if they're pulling the wagon.
Okay, so what if we did it almost like in spurts? So we did, more frequent rests, but the time in between those rests, we travel very quickly. A few half-hour rests more frequently, but we travel really hard in between those. Is there a way to extend our travel distance that way, do we think?
I'm not sure what the point of that would be, because wouldn't we be averaging out the same? anyway?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I was trying to figure out some way around working out a little bit more.
I think the only way to circumvent the math is with spells.
Also, if you travel fast, you do get negatives to things like passive perception, stuff like that.
And no stealth.
Right. Well, if you use stealth, then you're traveling slower than average too.
And Ariadna is not very good at stealthing.
But I am good at driving this wagon, which I'm going to be doing at the normal pace.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Okay. So is there anything that you guys want to do other than Skippy field dressing the dead tiger in the back while you're traveling?
Grun would like to turn to Fredwin and say, I'd like to apologize for my action in the last battle. I turned my back on you when you were down and you were injured, when my first priority should have been you. I was so caught up in my inadequacy, my inability to cast spells, to call upon my god for help, that I wasn't thinking clearly, and I let my anger put you in more danger. There's no amount of apology I take to make up for that, but please know I'm very sorry for my actions.
I think we were all a bit overwhelmed, so don't sweat it.
Well, thank you. I promise you, I will try to do better.
Kinfreddy, after having fallen in battle, do you feel more alive?
No, I feel like I got hit by a donkey cart.
It was not. It was a spell.
Oh, well, thanks for the clarification, I guess.
A spell launched by a lich, I might add, which is impressive.
Kind of out of my league right now, to be honest with you.
You will get to return the favor later.
God, I hope not. I don't want to see any more liches.
Well, he seemed so interested in this book, I think that it's probably inevitable.
Yeah, I get it.
Hopefully by that time we will be better prepared.
I just figured it all out.
Figured what out?
We'll give the book to the Fae.
Let's not do that.
Why not? They're scared of them.
I totally see where you're going, and I do like that train of thought.
But we still don't know if we're just trying to keep the book away from them or trying to give it to someone else so that someone else can use it against them.
She's got a good point.
Oh, we're definitely supposed to be bringing it to someone else in the other city, but I like the logic behind that.
And we have to lose something, right? We could lose the book.
I'm pretty sure the cost of losing the book would be higher than all of us are willing to pay. And that was one of the rules.
That was one of right there at the top. We're off to a good start.
This is going to be such a fun adventure.
Unless, of course, that's the rule with the exception.
But if there's exceptions to every rule, then the exception to the first rule must be that there are no exceptions, so there cannot be any exceptions to the first exception.
The exception to the first rule is that at least one of the rules doesn't have an exception.
And now I officially have a headache.
Yeah, Feywild.
Skippy is like covered in blood and looking a little cross-eyed at the logic.
It's Freddy not going to clean up Skippy.
Nope.
All I can say is, as soon as you mentioned the Feywild, I was sitting there going, man, I wish I had done something different with my ability modifier at level 4 now. So do most people, it kind of seems that most people think we should go through and chance the Feywild?
Yes, this is my preferred plan of action. Even though the Fae are kind of scary, I think zombies are worse.
I feel it is the most reasonable course of action.
I'm with Fred.
I'm scared of zombie trees.
Well, look, everybody's in accordance then.
Sounded like Kinfizzle.
Pretty sure that was Fizzle's vote.
Yeah, he's barking from the beyond.
Fizzle's not with you guys.
Barking from the other side.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, come on, let me show you around my place.
All right. You guys travel throughout the course of the day. You do start to hear the forest returning to normal around you. You hear the sounds of animals in the jungle and insects and all that kind of stuff the further that you go. However, you do not reach the ruins by the end of the day as it starts to get dark.
On the way, once you said we start hearing the return of animals and stuff like that, can we do some hunting for food for the tigers?
You have food for the tiger.
Gaelen would like to try and gather food for the people too.
For the people, and tigers eat a lot, so.
That's true. Yeah, you guys can stop early and do some hunting if you want.
I can do some hunting if you don't mind.
Not so sure about stopping early.
No, let's not stop early.
No, when we stop, we'll hunt, but we do need to make sure we stock up on some of the tigers specifically. Well, tiger and the panther, right?
Who knows if the Fae will like us letting the tiger and panther hunt in their country?
It's true. If everything has a cost, that'll mean even the food.
How many rations do we have?
Let me check.
I have 6.
I have 3.
I have 1. I'm just checking what the group one was. I think our group stash is somewhere around 25.
I have 8.
I also have some crackers in my pockets.
We have 26 days rations as a group pool.
I feel perfectly comfortable going and hunting. There's no reason to think that there would be a cost to that choice for us, any more than that we are the cost of the choice those animals made to come into this area.
Well, we're not in the Fae yet anyway.
Nope, we're still getting.
I'll go hunt. You can help me, Gaelen.
Yes, let's do so.
Okay. Can you give me a survival check, Skippy?
With advantage?
Nope.
Wah, wah, wah.
Okay. So Gaelen, you managed to find enough food for a couple of people for the day. Skippy, you're not having any luck tracking anything down. The tigers and panther, I assume you're letting them off to go hunt as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they have no problem finding food. That's enough for them.
Canary, did you say that you were low on rations?
I have 3. That's enough for now.
I have brought some food. Please help yourself. I have plenty of rations. Kinfreddy, how are you doing?
I don't think I have anything. I kind of travel light most of the time. It's one of my weaknesses.
Well then, please eat.
Thank you.
And you guys are setting up a camp for the night?
Off the road.
I figured that much. Make perception checks, everybody.
Ugh. I sleep through everything.
Oh, you're not sleeping yet, but you don't notice. But everybody else does that. While you're bringing the wagon into the jungle and getting ready to set up camp, the jungle around you again falls silent.
I start rolling up my tent.
Yeah, we gotta keep going, folks. This is what happened before they attacked the last time.
As I recall, this is what happened before they were on the road the last time.
Yes, the last time it got quieter and quieter, we were pushing into it. Now we've been pushing out of it. It seems to be catching up with us.
Yeah.
Onward then?
Do we feel like we can try and push another few hours?
You have done your full day's travel so far, so if you decide to push on, you will be facing exhaustion in another hour.
But the animals are at least now fed.
Yes, everybody has had a chance to eat at this point. You guys went out hunting and everything.
So am I taking a ration off?
Yeah, everybody's taking a ration off unless Gaelen gave you food.
Canary, what do you think? Do we push or stick?
Dunno.
So you said we heard that everything's going quiet. Do we hear anything approaching in that silence?
Nope. At this point, you just don't hear anything, and so all of the animals have fled the area.
Okay, do we maybe take the time to try to take a short rest if possible, but ready to go if things start approaching?
I don't know what is to be gained from it. I feel like we should push, and as soon as the tiger is indicating that it is suffering, Canary, we stop.
Okay. I also can pull this cart if we need to keep going.
The wagon's a fair bit heavier than the cart. You definitely need some help, even with your tremendous strength.
Yeah, I would help if it comes down to us having to pull. I would also help like before.
I can help too.
Yeah, you can push from inside.
Okay, so as you're traveling, are people staying in the cart or in the wagon while it's driving, or are some of you riding animals? What's the situation here?
I still have my own tiger, right? Or did he die?
You have your own.
Yeah, so I'm riding my tiger.
I'm walking.
Yeah, it would be time for Gaelen to walk. He's up to speed now, so.
Since we're past our travel time, does walking mean risking exhaustion?
Yes.
So it makes more sense probably to just have the tiger with that risk.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody's in the wagon?
I guess so.
In the wagon or riding their own tiger. At least takes some of the weight off of the wagon.
Okay, yeah, I can ride my panther.
Okay. You guys start to ride, Ari, Freddy, and Skippy, can you please make exhaustion checks for the animals?
So is that just a D20?
I think their con is +2, if I recall.
Yeah, Panther doesn't have a con bonus, so it'll just be straight D20.
Like a boss.
Yours isn't really carrying any extra.
The tigers are +2.
Okay. So Ari and Fred roll with +2 on the D20.
We'll just pretend there's a +2 on that one.
Sure.
Do you want me to roll again?
Oh, sorry, I missed that roll.
I mean, it didn't have the +2 on it, but
Right, it rolled an 8. So the tiger that's pulling the wagon is starting to look tired after an hour on the road.
should we swap them out?
Probably not a bad idea. Push it as long as we can.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, it doesn't take too long to swap out the tigers. So you continue traveling then. Fred, are you riding on the tiger that had been pulling the wagon, or are you riding in the wagon now?
I'm riding in the wagon now. I only ride my tiger.
Okay, I just wanted to check. So, Ari, Freddy, and Skippy, please roll exhaustion checks for your animals again for the second hour.
Yikes.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So mine is the one that was exhausted before, right?
Yes. So at the end of the second hour, you do see that tiger is starting to lag behind the rest of the group as its speed is halved.
Will it fit in the wagon?
If other people walk, it is a large animal.
Grun will get out and start walking because he hasn't walked yet. So
I'm feeling like maybe we have pushed hard enough, but I'm willing to push on if that is what we wish to do.
Can we do another perception check?
Yeah, you can do another perception check. And Skippy, your panther is starting to look tired as well.
Can she fit in the wagon?
Yeah, she can cuddle in there with the tiger.
Okay. Then I'll load her in as well and start walking.
Okay.
If we keep going.
So you guys are perceptive enough to note that the jungle is still silent.
All right. We all risk an exhaustion if we push, but the things that have already suffered an exhaustion aren't risking, right?
That's right.
We could probably push one more.
yeah, I was gonna say at this point we have to just whatever distance.
Okay. Fred, roll an exhaustion check for your tiger, and everybody who's walking, roll an exhaustion check as well.
That's a con save?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Well, you got little legs.
So Galen's fine, Grun's fine. Skippy, you're starting to feel tired. You have level 1 exhaustion, so disadvantage on ability checks. The tiger has its first level of exhaustion that's pulling the wagon. And I need con save for Freddy as well.
I was riding in the wagon and thought,
In the front with me.
Okay, that's fine then. So that's 3 hours past optimal end time now.
I believe that is all that we can do. All three of our animals are suffering, and that includes Skippy.
I can keep going.
Grun's still doing all right. I can jump on and pull for a little while longer.
I think the problem is now we have too many things that are exhausted to fit into the wagon.
Yeah, the second tiger won't fit in with the other 2 animals.
Does it seem quiet still to y'all?
So Ari and Grun, you don't notice any change, but Freddy and Gaelen and Skippy, you can all hear a rustling sound behind you down the road.
Do you hear that, Freddy?
yeah, I think we should get off the road and hide.
I agree.
Let's do it.
I am uncertain if that rustling noise is those white things.
As I recall, they didn't really make any noise.
I'm going to let the cats out of the wagon.
Okay.
So we got 3 extra hours?
Yep,
You said it was a day and a half?
I did.
So are we only an hour short?
Probably.
Grun will pull with all of his orcish might everything that can fit in that bloody cart.
Alrighty. I will also pull then.
Freddy, are you willing to risk further exhaustion of your tiger?
I mean, it's that or risk further being eaten by zombies. So
Because I feel we are getting close, and I feel if we commit, we can get to a position of safety.
well, I'll trust your judgment then.
Relative safety.
Onward.
As long as it doesn't look safe, we should be fine.
Right.
You guys, so Grun and Neri, you take your positions on the wagon and start to heave it along.
But hold up. Someone asked Freddy if he was willing to risk a second level of exhaustion in his tiger, and he said yes.
Oh, okay. So the tiger's going to continue pulling the wagon then?
What do y'all think?
I'll help the tiger. I'm not exhausted yet, so I mean, I'm still pretty
Gaelen will
fresh.
do what he can, but he's not muscular.
Well, I am, but the thing is, the tiger's going to have to roll exhaustion again either way because it won't fit in the wagon.
No, that's right. Yeah, that tiger should pull.
Can they get advantage on their exhaustion check if we hook both tigers up?
One of the tigers is moving at half speed now.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'll hook in where the other tiger would have and pull with the exhausted tiger.
Okay. You guys continue on as fast as you can down this old jungle road, and you don't even need to make perception checks. You can hear more sounds getting closer behind you, and a shadow passes overhead.
There is nothing to do but keep our heads down and pull.
I'll start like sprinting, like pulling with everything I got.
Steady on now.
I would like everybody to make wisdom saving throws, please.
Look at you, Freddy.
Finally made a wisdom save.
Well, this is a complete change. Everybody except Fredwin feels a sense of dread as the shadow passes overhead.
That is a complete change.
I thought we killed that thing.
Are we frightened?
Yep.
Apparently, we didn't kill it enough, or it had friends.
How far are we into our last hour?
Well, you're getting close to the end of it now. You can continue moving forward. The fear dissipates for all of you, but you do hear from over the jungle, off in the distance, an unearthly scream.
Behind us or in front of us?
Kind of off to the side of you.
So how would you rate this scream? Would it be a scream of triumph, a scream of, oh, I stubbed my toe, or a scream of frustration?
Oh God, this thing's eating me?
Maybe give me an insight check. Well, apparently you guys are really good at knowing how skeletal dragons feel. You'd say it sounds like a scream of, ow, I stubbed my toe.
I hate it when I do that.
You continue on. The sounds of rustling are getting clearer behind you. You can see a wave of large white creatures in the distance, those of you that have dark vision. And then the sound stops.
As if it hit a wall?
Perhaps. You can still see them behind you, but you don't hear them.
Okay, everyone. I think we can start to calm down.
But we have to keep going. We can't rest here.
I'm not sure which is safer, resting here or resting on the other side of that portal.
There's a portal?
Well, I mean, the path to the Fae.
Yeah, there's a chance. I mean, we could get through this without ever encountering a rift.
So we can see the things behind us, but they aren't coming closer?
They do come closer, but they stop in a very uniform line.
Perhaps we've crossed already.
And you watch as this skeletal dragon lands in their midst and paces back and forth, but doesn't come any closer.
I think probably Gaelen would shudder a little bit at it.
Well, I can't say this really looks safe.
I don't like the looks of them, but I really like the looks of their inability to come closer.
Fredwin,
Uh-oh, what did I do now?
while everybody's staring at the undead that are no longer advancing, a tiny little winged creature flits about, fluttering around you very quickly, and it's zipping in circles, leaving behind a trail of sparkling dust in the night. And a tiny little voice says, "It's me, Fizzle. I've been wondering if you'd come this way. I'm so excited to see you in my world."
Oh, goodness. I'm in your world.
Well, close. This is... You haven't gone through one of the rifts yet, but you're in close enough that I can pass through.
Can I hear this going on back there?
Yep.
Freddy?
Am I sure this is actually Fizzle? Do we have? I think we've set up like a code word or something. Does he know the code word?
Yes.
I mean, you've made a pact with Fizzle, so you would know his true name, so you'd be able to tell probably pretty easily.
Yeah. So I tell Ari about what's going on.
Okay. Does Fizzle have any wisdom for us then?
Can Fizzle guide us between these rifts, since he would know where they are?
Fizzle, can you do that?
Oh, why certainly. I can offer to help you see the gateways to the Feywild if you'd like.
That sounds great.
Hold on. Stop. Remember the rules.
This is Fizzle, though.
Yeah. He is still a Fey, and this is still close to the Feywild.
But he's my familiar. He'd never do anything to hurt me, ever.
You, sure, maybe not, but that doesn't mean anything about the rest of us. We've got no deal with them. We've got no pact, no bond.
I think we should trust him.
I don't even a little bit.
Freddy, are you saying that Kin Fizzle looks safe?
So there's a special kind of a bond between a wizard and his familiar, and there's absolutely nothing he would ever do to hurt me, and I would never do anything to hurt him. So
Yeah, but once again, that's just you two. That does not include anybody else in this party in that deal.
Hurting us would hurt Freddy.
No, he guide Freddy safely through and leave us to die and rot, and that's perfectly within the bounds of their agreement.
And on the other side, Freddy would get eaten by a Gru.
Well, there's only so much you can do. But I don't like the way he said, I could offer you the ability to see the gates.
What would it cost? That's the question.
That's exactly it. That's like one of the big rules. What would it cost us to be able to do that?
Oh, it wouldn't cost anything very special. And Fizzle looks at you, Fred, and says, all I'd need is your real name, and then I can give you that power.
Yeah, the thing that would allow him to, usurp your bond.
I mean, if this is really Fizzle, we already have a pact, and he would already know my real name.
You can give me an Arcana check. Never mind.
Oh, no.
Well, we won't be going anywhere tonight. Anyway, I think we have exhausted animals, we have exhausted party members. We must rest.
Freddy?
Mm-hmm.
Since Fizzle's here anyway, why don't you go ahead and do your ritual to summon him?
We'll start setting up camp.
At the suggestion that Fredwin summons Fizzle, Fizzle immediately says, "Oh no, that's fine. I'm here. I prefer this form."
It's easy enough to release him back. Freddy, summon Fizzle.
Okie dokie.
So, Find Familiar takes an hour to cast. You're going to do that during First Watch?
Yeah.
We're setting up off the road.
Fizzle does tell you not to set up off the road to the south, because that's getting pretty close to one of the rifts.
Now, I have no idea whether or not I should take that at face value.
Let's just set up right here on the road and we'll keep watch. I mean, it's not like we can't see the undead from here anyway.
Sounds fine.
So you guys set up camp on the road. Freddy's busy with his casting, but Ari, you're usually on First Watch. And can you give me a perception check, please?
Boom.
You notice that something strange is happening with the undead on the other side of the barrier, and that is they appear to be going slower, as though everything's in slow motion on that side.
If you're waiting for more of a reaction, there's not going to be one.
Okay, I was just giving you time to think on that, but if there's no more reaction, that's fine.
As my Uncle Clor said, don't feed the trolls. Don't make problems where there aren't any.
That's fair. So, Freddy, you finish your casting, and Fizzle turns into your usual dog.
Okay, and now that Fizzle's my usual dog, I have a private conversation asking, hey man, what's the deal? You're freaking out my friends and stuff.
They should be freaked out. The Feywild is no place for strangers.
Yeah, but they don't want to, they're worried about giving up stuff. We were warned by a druid about all the rules involved in being in the Feywild. And so naturally they're going to be really distrustful, and I'm kind of concerned because I kind of thought you already knew my real name, so...
I know your real name in this form, but once I go back to my own realm, It's gone from my mind.
Interesting. And you absolutely have to have that to be able to show us the rifts. But why don't you just show us where the rifts are? It seems like we're already in one anyway.
What you're in is a larger general disturbance. There is a huge bubble that surrounds the area of the ancient city and well into the jungle. But inside that bubble, there are smaller bubbles, which are still considerable in size, that are direct gateways to various points in the Feywild. So you haven't crossed a gateway, you've simply entered the field where the gateways can exist.
And that's protecting us from the undead, but for how long?
That is entirely up to the undead. If they wish to risk entry, they can, but they will be just as unable to see the gateways as you are. So they would risk stumbling into the Feywild if they entered.
So you're saying putting my hands on my head like deer antlers and doing a raspberry at them might not be a great idea.
They can still enter, but they might take a while to even notice that you're doing that, because time flows differently here, and in the Feywild even more so.
Interesting. So I let Ariadna know all this stuff.
To your other point, he says that he can guide you through the gateways, because there are pathways that don't cross the gateways.
And you're sure you prefer not being an awesome doggy?
Absolutely.
And you've shared all this with me. I'm going to recommend that Fizzle stay a dog, because I don't know if the deal changes when he changes form. Then I don't know that his other form is bound by the same rules.
She makes a good point.
Weren't we supposed to go through the wild anyway, through the Fey place?
She gave us those rules in case we accidentally stumbled into one. I think avoiding it would probably be better.
Yeah, we don't want to go in there. It was just such a likely occurrence with going this way that she said, here's what happens if you do. Yeah, if we can just get through, not enter the Feywild, save a whole bunch of time and shake off the undead, that is...
Okay, so is there anything else that Ari or Freddy want to do on first watch?
No.
Okay, Gaelen, you're up for second watch. Can you give me a perception check, please? You can see that outside of this barrier, over the course of your watch, the smaller white creatures are amalgamating into larger ones very slowly, and the skeletal dragon moves like it's walking through tar off the side of the road, and behind it you can see the figure of the Lich approaching with lantern in hand.
How far away?
Still a fair distance away. It's at the edge of your dark vision.
How far back from the barriers are we camped?
Not very far. You guys said you're just setting up camp on the road.
All right, well, Galen will say fascinating, and then he will shake people's legs. Alert everyone, our Lich has returned, and this may be a problem.
Maybe we should move a little further away, at least out of spell range.
I mean, if Fizzle can show us the way between the rifts, then yeah, there's no reason not to go in at least a little bit deeper.
Yeah, let's go.
Because if I can see him, he can see us, and that's probably not for the best.
He can see us, but we're moving a lot faster than he is, so if we kind of move around, we might be invisible.
I don't think we want to spend the whole night running. Maybe we ought to just mosey on down the road a bit.
Let's push down the road, maybe a little short of another hour, so that we don't lose our long rest.
Yeah, and if we can get Fizzle to show us a place where those rifts are between us and the undead, without his guidance, they'd walk straight into the rifts if they come straight at us.
Well, that's a good plan.
Okay.
But don't you have to tell him your name for him to show you?
For him to be able to give us the ability to see them, not for him to be able to show us.
Freddy, you are asking Fizzle to do this on your behalf?
Yes.
Okay. He starts down the road and shows you that the road is safe up to about an hour away, as Gaelen requested, and stops, but says, "From here, there is no way through the 3 gates that are open without crossing into the Feywild. To do that, you'd have to backtrack
How far would we have to backtrack?
an hour."
I think ultimately our intention is to cross in.
That is not what we just said.
No, our ultimate intention is to never cross into the Feywild in our entire lives.
So fine, let's just finish the long rest and we'll figure it out later.
Yes, that's an excellent idea.
So everybody settles down.
Wait, does this place look safe?
If it does, we move on.
The place where you stop looks strange. Not where you are, but very close by.
Let's back off just a bit.
The trees are more whimsical. The branches like do these interesting curly-cue type things, and they have bright colored leaves and flowering blossoms. The grass is more vibrant. Even in the dark, it glows. But where you are looks like what the regular jungle would look like.
Yeah, let's back off just a little, I think.
I mean, that is beautiful, but
Yeah.
beauty is poison.
And you see this not only in front of you, but if you turn to the left, it's the same thing, a very short distance off the road. But to the north appears to look more jungle-like again.
I'm saying on the road.
Staying on the road? Okay.
Well, was there another way other than the north that looked like it was a little more jungly that was off the road?
No. Straight ahead down the road looks bizarre, as does the area to the south of the road.
All right, let's camp and get our night's rest.
We're going to end up getting pushed straight into the wild.
Yeah, that's my concern here. If something comes, we got nowhere to go but in.
If something comes, we'll go north. But for right now, let's just finish our long rest before we lose it.
So everybody settles down. Gaelen, you continue the rest of your watch, and it is uneventful. Grun and Skippy, you guys are up for last watch. What are you going to do?
Perception first, see for any of the undead. And I'd like to go down the road a little bit. Check.
Down the road back?
Yeah, I'd like to backtrack a little bit of like a little ways, like still within sight and like shouting distance of the cart, but back the way we came, just to see if they're making their way toward.
You walk back down the road, and you don't see any signs of the undead having entered the area.
Okay, so I'll head back.
But with that perception roll to the south, you see something interesting in the rays of the morning sun, and it's a white horse with a spike coming out of its forehead.
What do I need to roll to know what that is?
That would be an Arcana check, or
Well, that's something you don't see every day.
yeah, I think Arcana. Grun, you don't know what it is. It looks like a horse, a beautiful horse, but just a horse.
Must have gotten lost. I'll head back to the camp.
Yeah, but it looks like a horse with a spike coming out of his head.
Yeah,
Like I said, I got the horse with a spike in a house. Well, that is weird. But this close to the Feywild, I'm not going anywhere off of where I already know we've been. So I'll kind of look at it for a little while. I'm still within sight of the cart, right?
when you get that close to the cart, you can no longer see it.
I'll mention to Skippy, I saw this, weird looking horse out in the forest, kind of on the outskirts of one of those Feywild areas, I think.
You saw a horse with a spike coming out of its head? Can I roll an Arcana?
Yeah, you can roll Arcana. Sounds an awful lot like a unicorn.
I think it's a unicorn.
What's a unicorn?
Well, it's a horse with a spike in its head.
Okay, yeah, we saw one of those just down the road a little bit. Is it something special? I don't know. Must be uncomfortable with a spike growing out of its head.
Do I know anything about the unicorns, or do I just know that it's a horse with a spike coming out of its head?
You've heard some childhood stories about unicorns, that they're generally good creatures, but they're fables. Nobody that you know has ever actually seen one. It's just like kid stories.
They're supposed to be good. Maybe it can help us. We should go back and find it.
I don't know. I mean, it's still a fey creature. I mean, Is it guaranteed to help us?
Well, it's at least a good fey creature.
It's true. I mean, yeah, we can take a stroll down to where I saw it, see if it's still there.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll just kind of stroll down to where I saw it and try to point it out to Skippy if it's still there.
Yeah, it's still there.
At this point, how long until our long rest is up?
You've still got a couple of hours.
Okay, so I don't want to wake everybody. I'm gonna call out to the unicorn. Do you mind coming back in a couple of hours when the rest of the party's up? We'd like to maybe talk.
It doesn't appear to hear you, or at least it doesn't react to you talking to it.
I look at Skippy and kind of shrug.
I'm going to shrug at Grun and pick up a stone or a stick or something and kind of like toss it closer to the unicorn to get its attention.
You're not like overhand throwing it at it. You're like lobbing it to be like, hey, over here.
Yeah, just to get its attention with like the stick hitting the ground.
Give me an attack without proficiency.
That'd be like an unarmed strike.
D20 plus Dex modifier, we'll say.
Booyah.
Yeah, you lob a stone in there, and it drops right where you wanted it to. But by the time it drops, the unicorn is gone.
Huh. Well, I guess we'll keep an eye out for it. If it comes back around, maybe it's interesting. Maybe it heard me. Maybe it'll come back when everybody's up.
I'll wave in the forest and say, "Bye, unicorn."
Okay.
All right, head back to camp. Finish off our watch.
Okay. Nothing else happens over the course of the long rest. So you all wake up refreshed and with one less level of exhaustion.
So I think that just leaves one tiger with a exhaustion.
Yep.
Well, we can let it rest in the cart for the first bit of the journey.
Are you all going to tell us about your adventures with the unicorn?
Oh, last night we saw a unicorn.
Normally I'd probably want to ask what kind of mushrooms you were eating, but it's close to the Feywild. I guess that's possible.
Yeah, it was standing just down the road a little ways off to the south. We went to speak to it. We don't know if it heard us or understood us, but it was there for a bit and then gone.
Yeah, it left when I threw a rock at it.
You what?
Well, not at it, like just kind of like near it to get its attention.
So you meet a graceful mythical creature and your first instinct is to throw a rock at it.
Safari Zone style.
Was that wrong?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Not a clue. Unknown grounds here. But I mean, to see something that's apparently viewed as a good, helpful creature so early into our journeys close to the Feywild, I mean, that's hopefully a good sign.
So just a suggestion, since we're so close to this weird time stream thing that's going on here, maybe we should stick pretty close together lest one of us get trapped in a very slow time zone.
Yeah, probably not a bad idea.
So are we still feeling like we should not progress through the town?
We're going to progress through the ruins, but we're going to, in a very specifically worded request, ask to be guided through to the other side that we need to get to without having to go through any portals to the Feywild or alternate planes than the one we exist on now.
Well, Kinfreddy, you should perhaps have Kinfizzle do what he can.
Well, I'll ask.
Really watch your wording.
And you're wording it the way that Grun said?
Oh, please don't. Mine was such a half-assed wording.
So, Fizzle, can you lead us, or would you please lead us through the area ahead? And if at all, is it at all possible? What?
The area ahead is the Feywild.
No, I mean we want to go to.
Yeah, say what you mean.
It sounds like you're upsetting Kinfizzle.
So, would you lead us to the other side of these ruins without leading us into any portal that would take us to the Feywild?
Yes, I can do that.
While keeping us out of any plane other than the one we're in currently.
Yes, I can do that.
And how much does this cost?
Oh, it won't cost you anything.
You're asking him in the form where he's bound to you.
That is true.
So, Fizzle starts heading off to the northeast.
Before we go, I was just curious how everybody's prayers went this morning.
Same as usual.
Yep. We got up, we did the things, we prayed. Grun prayed to Kellamvor, and then once again asked the Stormlord if he's paying attention.
I did the whole praying to Sharrow thing. And since you asked, I ignored that little squeaky voice because, again, don't feed the trolls.
I figured that's what was going on, so I wasn't going to push it. So the prayers, same as usual. Ari has power, Grun doesn't, and Fizzle is leading the way.
Gaelen will also try and encourage Grun during his prayers, gently.
Just sitting there, like, chantily saying, Stormlord, pray to the Stormlord.
You might say things like, "Yep, Honorable Stormlord sure looks a lot like Honorable Kellamvor to me."
Yeah, Grun, you don't hear anything from anybody when you pray, including the Stormlord.
Yeah.
And so, Fizzle begins heading northeast through the jungle.
I'd like to try to like make sure that where he's leading us is kind of kosher. I don't know, like do like a survival check to make sure I know where I'm going.
Okay. Yeah, you can give me a survival check. This place is really foreign to you, and even the jungle that you're in doesn't look exactly like the jungle leading up to the city. So the lines between where you are now and the actual Feywild are really difficult to discern. If you look far enough away at given points when you're close to one of the gateways, you can definitely tell that there's a difference, but the transition is gradual.
Okay. As far as I'm concerned, I know exactly where I am, and he's doing a good job.
Oh yeah, he's on the up and up for sure.
That's my good boy.
Fizzle continues on for a little over an hour and stops.
Okay. Why did Fizzle stop?
Oh, what's up, dude?
I can't take you any further. This is the barrier between the bubble that I told you about and the realm that you are from. You asked me to take you the way that I could in the realm that you're in, and this is as far as I can go. I cannot cross this barrier in this form without being summoned into it, and there is no other way through in the pocket that you came in.
Cross over and resummon?
But we didn't want to cross over.
I was going to say, then we're in the Feywild.
According to what he just said, this isn't crossing into the Feywild, this is crossing back into the normal world, right?
Yes, that's what he said.
Oh, well, then I will...
Wait, before we do that, though, let's look around and make sure there aren't any bitey things over there.
Looking through the barrier to the other side, give me perception checks.
Is it a visible barrier?
No.
No, the nat 20s area.
Yeah, all on perception, and none of them on the things that I actually need them for.
I don't know. We seem to need somebody to be getting good perception rolls. Oh, never mind. There was Fredwin.
Ari and Freddy, you see far off to the south a hulking white figure shimmering in the early morning rays of the sun, back towards the road that you followed to get into this area.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Maybe ask Fizzle if there's any other way that he thinks is safe for us, other than going across.
So I asked him that.
For you, no. For you, the best course of action is to cross back into your realm, head north for some distance, and then back west into this realm again.
And why do you say that's the best route for us?
Because there is a way through the gates that way. Sorry, he wouldn't be answering Grun. He's not speaking aloud. It's all telepathic with Freddy.
But I would relay it.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay, then question stands.
So there is a way through the gateways to the Feywild if you follow those directions.
And we wouldn't have time to summon you back, so let's try to be as precise as possible with the directions about how far we have to go, which direction.
If you travel north for about half an hour and then travel west for half an hour, you will be back in this realm, and I will meet you there.
All right, then.
I can lead us.
Please do.
I will help how I can, Skippy.
Wait, half an hour? So we're in weird time here. So you're saying half an hour of your local time would be suffice, or do you have like a actual physical distance?
Nice. This is why I brought you along.
What, for stumping the DM?
No, Freddie. He asked the smart questions.
Yes, a very smart question.
Yep. So if you were to travel a mile and a half to the north and then a mile and a half west, he will meet you there.
All right, sounds good.
All right, you're going to want a survival roll. I have help. Can I do it with an advantage?
Yes. Okay. So yeah, you look into your own realm and you can see a pathway through the jungle trees that looks wide enough for the wagon to fit if you wanted to head that way.
Well, let's do it quickly, guys.
How far away is the white giant snappy thing?
You're not sure how big it is, but it's towering over the jungle trees and could be anywhere from a mile or two away.
Does it look like it's getting closer?
No, it's just standing there.
Looming.
Let us press on, Skippy.
I lead the way, me and Jinxie.
I'm driving the cart. Wagon. Whatever.
You guys head out into the jungle and continue north. The travel is relatively uneventful. The way is difficult for certain because there is no road here. There are animal paths that you can follow, and a couple of times you've got to kind of backtrack a little bit with the wagon to find an alternate route. There's streams and rivers along the way that you have to navigate, but eventually you do get to what you would estimate to be about 1.5 miles north and turn west and continue in that direction. And when you've traveled approximately 1.5 miles again, you see a little sprite zipping around Freddy, happy to see you again.
Okay. Let's sit up here and have lunch while we summon Fizzle back to his other form.
Lunch sounds great.
So you guys have lunch.
Is there animals and stuff like that in this part of the forest?
You can give me a survival check.
We're staying close together. We're in the weird time bubble place. Remember?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Basically, I'm a soldier. I've seen it. Don't go far to find a place to go.
So are you not looking for animals then, Skippy?
I am, but I'm not going after them.
Okay, give me a survival check. You do see tracks through the area that are not familiar to you.
I will point out the fact that I see these tracks to the rest of the group.
Gaelen, have a look.
Are any of them bigger than the tigers?
Yes.
Does that give me any idea what it might be?
I'm going to say that you do differentiate that there are beast tracks and humanoid tracks, and the humanoid tracks are the ones that are larger than the tiger tracks.
Okay, and the beast tracks have any kind of sense? Is it more like are there claws or talon marks? Like they imply it's a predator?
Sometimes.
Okay, so there's a bunch of different beast tracks and very big humanoids that wander through.
Yeah, like this looks like a fairly busy area, actually.
Well, if it's a gate, I think it would make sense that a lot of people probably use it. And animals.
In other words, we don't want to stick around here for somebody to come and go, right?
Yeah, but we need our guide, and we need our guide to be trustworthy.
That's true. So yeah, we keep our watch out in case something just comes through.
On all directions.
Yeah, from here, you can't actually see the gates, so you're not sure where they are, but the tracks are just everywhere in this area that you're in.
Awesome.
How's it coming, Freddy?
Don't disrupt him.
An hour passes, and Fizzle turns into a dog.
Oh, look at that. Fizzle.
I mean, I feel kind of bad talking to him like that now, knowing that he is fully sentient and can talk normally. And then when he's a dog, it's like, oh, who's a security?
I talk to Freddy like that.
Why do you think he doesn't like being a dog?
Well, he did say he prefers his normal form.
Well, I think
Yep.
maybe he prefers his normal form because he can get away with more.
That could very well have something to do.
Freddy, can you ask Fizzle how we should proceed?
Yeah. Hey, which way do we go now?
Fizzle lets you know that you'll be traveling west for about an hour and then deviating almost directly south for about another hour and then west again. So there's a fair bit of travel before you even get to the ruins, and the way is a little bit of a maze. So keep exactly on his tail.
Everybody stay close. Do we got any rope?
We do have rope. I'm not sure you could actually rope a wagon to people, but I think most people are staying in the wagon, so that helps.
Yeah, Grun is definitely in the wagon.
Am I teaching wagon driving to someone still? Because that would.
Yeah, Grun is learning how to drive the wagon.
Grun, can you give me a flat intelligence check? Okay. Yeah. So the last couple of days on the road, you've definitely been picking up some pointers from areas. She has been guiding the wagon through different types of terrain, and you're nowhere near proficient yet, but you feel like you're at least absorbing a lot of what she's telling you.
I'm getting the idea.
Yeah, you're getting there. And you were teaching Ari another language?
Yes. What language was I teaching? Was it Draconic or Halfling?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was Draconic.
I was gonna say I think it's Draconic because we both speak Orc, and I don't think you were interested in learning Halfling, so I'm pretty sure it was Draconic.
Right.
Okay. Ari, can you give me a flat intelligence check, please? Yeah, the Draconic is really different from anything else that you know, and you're having problems picking up even the basics of it. But Grun is a patient teacher.
You know your name now.
Well, there's that.
There's so much spitting involved.
All that hissing. It's
There's a lot of back of the throat. There's a lot of and
Yeah, it's not a pretty language by any stretch of the imagination.
it was spoken by gigantic dragons with fangs and giant jaws. So I mean, it ain't pretty. Orcish sounds prettier than this. I mean, I might be biased though.
well, likely I'm not really absorbing the lessons too well because I'm kind of monosyllabic myself at the moment. Speaking out of character here.
So far, all you can say is Ariadna Sandspitter has been laid to rest.
Don't say my full name in here.
You've been traveling for a couple of hours already today. Do you want to travel? It's about 4 more hours as you wind your way through the jungle. But after the first hour, I'm going to need a survival check.
Sure, I can do that.
Would help.
If we're all helping because you have advantage.
Yes, you can have advantage.
Since the whole party's helping, he has quadruple advantage though, right?
No, that isn't how it works at all. But it doesn't matter. Skippy, you have no problem finding a clear path between 2 Feywild gates that are very tight together. You can see on both sides these strange and whimsical trees and bushes, and even a few animals from time to time on both sides. So it's a very narrow path that you're winding, but you make it through okay.
Any more sightings of the unicorn?
No, you haven't seen a unicorn again. But as you come out from between these 2 gateways, you do see something else. And it's very large and easy to see as it moves between fantastical trees. It's a hulking hill giant.
Does it look undead?
No.
Well, that's an improvement.
Does any one of us speak giant?
So we can see it. Where's it at?
It is to your left. It's a fair distance away yet, probably a couple 100 feet.
Is it coming this way?
Not at the moment, no. It appears to be kind of just meandering slowly.
Let's mind our business then.
We do our thing, he does his thing.
That's the idea.
You continue walking along, and it is with startling suddenness that this hill giant is immediately beside you. You didn't even really see it moving, and all of a sudden, with the snap of a finger, it's right there, roaring and raising a massive great club. Initiative, please.
Oh dear.
Whoa, wait, what?
What?
My initiative is 17.
Oh,
It's not 1, it's not 0.
we're definitely in a different realm.
I mean, I go second out of last.
Wait.
What the heck?
Gaelen goes last. We are definitely in a different realm.
Well, you did get a back end of the last one, so.
Skippy, you're up first.
Yes, I am. And I believe I get 2 shots now with my crossbow.
Oh, you took a feat at 4th level, didn't you?
I did. Crossbow expert.
Is anyone adjacent to this giant?
I'm just setting up the battle board now, but yes, one of the tigers will be.
So I get my sneak attack bonus.
Does the tiger count as an ally? I'll say yes.
Excellent. Then I will take my 2 shots.
You are in the wagon at the moment.
It's got windows.
Yeah.
Okay, shooting out the windows.
All right, here we go. That'll do.
Yep, that's definitely a hit.
For my second attack, I don't get my sneak attack on, right?
No, you only get 1. 13 hits as well.
So 8 points of damage.
Right. Are you doing anything else on your turn?
Yeah, I'm going to get out of the wagon and hide behind it.
Okay.
I suppose I would need an action to actually to let the tigers loose, eh?
Yes.
Then I will just get off the wagon and hide behind it for now.
Then we go to Grun. Unbelievable that you're second in the initiative order.
I know, I don't even know what to do. How far away from it am I?
You are on the front of the wagon with Airy, so you are a 5-foot step away from the giant.
What side is it on of the wagon? The left side or the right side?
It's on the left side. It's almost beside the tiger. It's just like a 5-foot step forward.
Okay. I'm gonna grab my javelin, and if it's within 5 feet, I'm gonna just take a step and try to stab at its ankle.
Sorry, you're taking a step towards it?
Isn't a javelin a ranged weapon?
Yeah, well, it can be used as a ranged weapon, or it can be used as a melee weapon. I'm intending to use it as a melee right now.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm gonna grab it and stab him. Just because, I mean, he seemed to maybe teleport, so I want to be ready in case he seems to like teleport away to be able to launch a ranged attack if did. So that's what I'm using. Except I'll roll for shit, and here we go.
Yeah, that's not going to hit. Anything else on your turn?
Is it possible for me to walk between his legs, given how big he is, and get behind him?
Yeah, but remember the last time one of us ran between the legs of a hill giant.
Yeah, but I couldn't remember if that was Skippy, because Skippy can do that.
No, that was Gaelen, who ended up stuck in the hill giant.
Right.
It's probably going to happen again.
The Ode of the Hill, but no. Grun will remember that, and not wanting to experience that very visceral experience, we'll go around and try to get flanking on the hill giant to the side.
Okay, you are on its right side right now.
Oh, okay, sorry. When I stepped off, I thought I was like right in front of it, so.
No, the tiger's right in front of it. You're kind of just beside it a bit.
Okay, then that's where I'll stay for now.
Then next up is Ariadna.
So, can I do a bonus action before I take my action?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to use my bonus action to channel Vow of Enmity, which gives me advantage on attack rolls for 1 minute. And then I'm going to attack it with my battle axe, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So you'll have to go around the tiger to get to the giant.
That's fine.
Because Grun's in the way otherwise.
That's okay. Just the one-handed, by the way.
Okay, you can get into a flanking position with it with Grun if you want.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Okay.
But I have advantage anyway, right? So, but I didn't roll with advantage, but I assume that hits, so I don't really have to.
Yeah, that definitely hits. And you're fighting one-handed, right?
Yes, one-handed. And I'm also going to smite.
I think it's 2d8, right? So it's 15 damage on that strike.
And I'm going to say unkind things about its mother.
Yeah, you can do that as a free action, no problem. may or may not have any effect, but we'll see. So that's your action, bonus action, and movement. So your turn is done. Freddy, you're up next. You are in the back of the wagon.
I am in the back of the wagon. Can I cast magic missile at 2nd level?
Yes, you can peek out one of the windows on the side. Okay, so that's 3 missiles now. Okay, so that's 11 damage total. Freddy, is there anything else you're doing on your turn?
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm gonna hide in the wagon as much as I can.
Sounds good. And last up is Gaelen.
How far away from him am I?
You're in the wagon. Let's see, do you want to be in front or beside Grun?
I first need to know how far away I am from him before I move, and then if I move, can I go through his legs, flank with the tiger?
We've already got him in flanking.
If you're standing beside Grun, you'll still get flanking from Ariadna. That would be 35 feet to move there.
Okay, if she can give us both flanking, then that's great.
Yeah.
So before I move, I'll shoot him in the face.
Okay, so you're shooting through the wagon window at him?
Or as I'm coming out of the wagon, whichever makes sense. I just don't want the actual shot to happen within 5.
That's fair. Nice.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, so you shoot as you come around the edge of the wagon and then run up beside the hill giant. And then it's the hill giant's turn.
No, I'll flurry.
Ah, cheatery.
Spinning, flying, head corkscrew.
Not at its butt.
Well, I guess I'm beside him, so it's,
12 misses.
the second one.
All right, so you landed a hit.
All right.
Anything else on your turn?
No, that's me.
Grun, he turns towards you.
Apparently he doesn't like his mother.
Or he didn't understand what you said. Grun, you take 15 points of damage as this giant clubs you one, and an 11 misses, right?
Yes.
That will be the giant's turn. Back up to the top of the order, Skippy.
I'm going to free the tiger, which is attached to the wagon.
Yeah, there's a tiger tied up to the back of the wagon, following behind. So are you going to cut the rope or untie the rope? What are you doing there?
Well, if I cut the rope, can it still give me an action?
Let's call it a bonus action.
I'll use my bonus action to cut the rope, and then I will move into so I can fire at the hill giant without any cover bonus. There's no such thing, right?
Well, it's so much bigger than Grun and Gaelen that it's not going to get any cover from them.
Okay, fair enough. I'll shoot twice.
That's a hit. And also a hit. And that is good enough to drop it. And the giant falls backwards. And it's a strange sensation when it does. It starts to lean back slowly, and then all of a sudden it's on its back.
Can we take a look at the body? Does it seem a normal body?
Is it even dead? Just because it's laying down doesn't mean it's dead.
You can give me a perception check.
Anyone who wants one?
Of course it's dead.
I'll give the 3 people who are closest to it. So Grun, Gaelen, and Ari can roll that perception. Gaelen and Ari, Grun starts to walk forward to examine the body, but you both notice that it made no sound as it hit the ground.
I'll grab Grun's arm.
What? What's wrong?
There's definitely something wrong with this creature. I think we should leave alone.
I'd like to do a divine sense.
You can do a divine sense, and that tells you about...
Celestials, fiends, and undeads. I mean, unlikely, but...
And that's a 60-foot range.
And I can also detect good and evil.
So within 60 feet, you detect your companions who are good. I don't think anybody's evil. Actually, I think this entire party is made up of good aligned characters. So yeah, you get that pleasant sensation from all of them and nothing else in the area.
Okay.
Excellent fight, everyone. Shall we press on?
I'd like to poke the body with my javelin.
Remember that third rule about perception being reality? I think we need to continue to perceive this thing as dead. Let's just not touch it.
Okay, if it's dead, then let's see if it's got anything good on it.
No! Leave it alone!
King Grun, this thing made absolutely no noise when it hit the ground, and it is rather large.
Do you think it's an illusion then?
I don't know what it is. I just know that I'd like to leave it alone and continue on.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe that's where the barrier is, and it fell back into the barrier, and because time goes faster in the barrier, it fell faster.
It's true. Okay, we'll leave it
It's
alone.
a very astute observation. Let's go with that.
Skippy's smart. Holy man.
Back in the wagon.
Okay, everybody piles into the wagon.
Ready? Get Fizzle to lead on. Why do we have a tiger tied up anyway? Like, it knows commands, right? Can't we just tell it to follow us?
He was pulling the wagon with the rope, right?
No, that was the one on the back.
Yeah, Skippy untied the one that was following the wagon at the back.
Well, let's just tie it back up just in case. We don't want it to wander off.
I'm riding Jinxie.
Are you riding behind the wagon?
Yeah, exactly where they go.
Okay, no problem.
Grun, how are you doing there with getting smacked by a hill giant?
He's looking a bit rough. That was about half my health.
Yeah, that makes me uncomfortable. How about I lay on hands a little bit, but not all the way, because, like, I'm kind of the only healer here.
Yeah, no, I'd rather you hold some back. But, I mean, yeah, if you're even willing to show maybe like 5.
5 would be good.
Okay, so I've got everybody in the wagon except for Skippy, who's riding the panther. Is that correct?
Correct.
Well, I'd be riding my tiger if he's not tired anymore.
He's still exhausted. Or, well, one of the tigers is still exhausted, and the other one's pulling the wagon.
Yeah, Freddy, your tiger is the one pulling away.
Oh, so I am in the wagon.
Just stay between the wagon tracks and make sure you're watching where you're going.
When you get back in the wagon and you look forward, you don't see Fizzle.
Ready?
Well, the only reason he wouldn't be here is if we crossed over into a realm.
The wagon hadn't moved, though, right? Since the last time we saw Fizzle?
Nope.
Can you telepath with him?
That's a great question. Can I telepathically reach out and sense him?
What's the range on that?
100 feet.
Yes, you can communicate with him.
So what's up, Fizzle?
I'm leading the way.
But we can't see you.
Oh,
Oh?
Maybe have him come back?
Can you come back?
sure. And Fizzle comes trotting back from between a couple of trees and rejoins you.
So did he pop back into existence or what?
Nope, he had just continued walking, leading the way.
Oh, because nobody asked him to stop.
Okay.
I think you need to keep a closer eye on Fizzle if we get into combat there, Fred.
My bad.
So as you come out from between these two gateways, Fizzle turns west and continues on for quite a ways, and the jungle around you appears to become a little bit more normal the further that you go. Opens up into a nice green space. And at this point, you have traveled for about 5 hours today.
We're not stopping.
And you continue on. And as you get into the 6th hour, you see tall spires through the trees. And they appear to be golden in color, rising up into the sky above the canopy. And as you proceed following Fizzle, the trees give way, and the tiger and wagon are now going along a stone surface that stretches out as far as the eye can see. And you see more of these tall golden spires all around you, and also other structures that appear to have crumbled and fallen down.
So do we get to move faster because of Skippy's halfling thingy? Urchin, whatever?
If the city was in any kind of good shape, I would allow that. However, it's not structured like any city that Skippy's ever been in, and there's collapsed buildings and rubble all over the place. So you will be able to travel at the regular speed that you've been traveling, continuing to pick out pathways between collapsed buildings.
Well, that's something. At least we're not slowed down.
Yes, very good.
Fizzle takes a path directly west towards the largest of the golden spires that you can see, and carries on for another hour. So at this point, you've been traveling for 7 hours by the time he's walking by the front of this golden spire. Off to the northwest, you can see another spire that's glowing bright red.
Is he walking toward that one?
Nope.
Okay.
How far is it?
It's not far. You would guess it would take you about half an hour to walk there, maybe less.
How about we camp here? This seems like a appropriately sinister place to make a camp, in a place where you're not supposed to trust things that look safe.
Yes, this is true. I was gonna say, Freddie, could you ask Fizzle if he knows anything about these spires?
Hey, Fizzle, do you know anything about these spires?
Yes.
Could you tell me what you know about these spires, please?
The golden spires and the red spires are all remnants of the ruined city that fell. They were crafted with such perfection that they did not fall even when the city fell from the sky. Unlike the other rubble that we've seen around us, the golden spires are in the overarching bubble, but not near a gate. The red spires are firmly in the Feywild.
Oh, so don't go near the red spires.
As they got it, keep close to the gold one.
Kind of like a dimensional barometer or something.
So, Freddie, why don't you ask Fizzle if there are any known dangers near the spot we are currently in?
Hey, so if we camp here, would that be safe?
Don't ask that.
Yes, this place is safe.
How much further to get through the city, Fizzle?
So my halfling friend here wants to know how much further it is to get to the city.
The tallest golden spire that we're beside is the central point in the city.
And how long have we been in the city?
Roughly an hour.
So we're halfway through the, bubble of the Feywild, pretty much then, right? We were told kind of where this area of the disturbance was, and we know where the city is kind of in relation to that. So if we're at the center of the city, does that put us halfway through our travel distance?
You'd think that makes sense, given that she said the disturbance was created by the city falling. So it's probably at the epicenter of the bubble.
Okay, so yeah, we've traveled for about a day, and we're halfway there, so we only have one more day of travel. That's pretty fantastic. Yeah, it seems like the best spot to...
Which kind of makes it not a good place, right?
Right. This is a horrible place. We need to go to the Red Spire.
Fine, let's just camp here.
Typical watch?
Yes.
Okay. Ari and Freddie, can you give me perception checks, please, during your watch?
And don't forget, we still have my sword of warning.
Yes, I know. You don't notice anything during your watch, and gets to Galen's time. Gaelen, would you like to give me a perception check?
Before we go to sleep, I will point out to Fred that maybe it would be a good idea to make sure Fizzle is watching also.
Okay, so does he get a perception check by himself?
Don't worry about rolling a perception check for him if you're telling him to watch.
And warn us if anything bad comes along or anything dangerous.
No. Fizzle, please let us know if anyone or anything approaches the camp.
Is that what you're going to tell him, Fred?
Yeah, I'll tell him that.
Okay, now you'll get to roll a perception check for him along with Gaelen.
And Gaelen will, from now on, when he rides in the wagon, he will ride on the wagon, and that's where he does his watch stuff from too.
Okay, from the top. Yeah. And Fizzle can roll too.
I'm not sure what his perception modifier should be.
We had found a tiny dog that we were using the stats from.
Also, does he get advantage because he's, he's Fae and he's from here and kind of knows the area?
No, he's
I try. It was worth a try.
he's watching, and he'll warn you, but he's not doing a really great job of watching. Give him a +3 bonus to perception. So both of you notice as the night goes on, although it's kind of strange how it's not really night. The light is slightly dimmer, but it doesn't go full dark. But to the northwest of where you're setting up camp, not far away, you see a figure skulking through the city.
Anything distinguishing about this figure?
Given how good your checks were, I would say yes. It appears to be roughly man-sized, and its skin is covered in spikes.
And by skulking around, is it stalking us?
Yes.
Okay. Slide off the wagon and shake some legs. We have an uninvited guest.
Uh,
And Fizzle
hey,
barks.
Freddy, you wanna help me put my armor on?
Yeah.
Gaelen will help Grun with his armor.
Yeah, the figure doesn't appear to be getting closer, so you guys do have as much time as you need to prepare.
Okay, so Gaelen will say, it is aware of us, but it doesn't seem to be coming.
We're sure it's aware of us?
It was definitely looking right at Gaelen when he was looking right at it.
It was definitely looking right at me when I was looking right at it.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, gotta keep on alert. Maybe double up on the watches. Like, always 2 people on watch.
Kinary, is this an opportunity for diplomacy?
We can try.
Kinfreddy, could you ask Kinfizzle what that might be?
Fizzle, do you know what that is?
Yes,
Fizzle, could you please tell me what that is?
it's a devil.
Oh, a good devil or a bad devil?
There's only one kind of devil.
Is this a religion thing or an arcana thing?
I would give you Arcana. Or religion, whichever you want to use.
I know nothing.
You don't know anything about devils. That's not really your strong suit.
Of course, Grun doesn't either.
Yeah, you guys are more worried about the, day-to-day stuff, not the big picture.
Well, apparently Skippy is the religious scholar here.
Apparently. I don't know where Skippy picked up all this knowledge, but he is rocking it today.
Unicorns and devils, come on!
Apparently, he has a fascination with the Feywild that nobody knew about. You can't read or write, but, the planes are just, yeah, he's on it.
Maybe he just really likes storytellers.
Yeah, maybe. But in all the stories that you've heard, both Freddy and Skippy, devils are evil.
I don't think we should do anything other than attack it.
Well, I'm not sure we should really even attack it. I'm kind of thinking maybe we should leave it alone and hope it ignores us.
Yeah, if it's in the Feywild area and we're not, yeah, we might be just kind of outside of its area that it wants to bother with.
How far away is it from us?
Not very far. It's maybe 100 feet away.
Gaelen
Don't throw any rocks at it.
will point straight at it, as if it doesn't already know we know it's there, and say, "All right, noble creature. If you're coming, come now."
There is no response.
I don't suppose anybody speaks whatever language devils speak.
Actually, I think Kinfreddy does.
I bet you these can't.
I actually speak Abyssal.
Isn't Abyssal for demons, though?
I mean, I could try. Maybe it knows Abyssal.
Freddy, the fact that you know Abyssal, I'll give this one to you for free. Devils and demons are completely different and have different languages.
Well, then I can't speak devil. I can speak celestial. That might confuse it.
I always get my Abyssal and Infernals mixed up. Kinfreddy, you speak Celestial?
Yeah, it was an elective.
Well, tell it what I said in Celestial. If that doesn't piss it off, nothing will.
But
Why are we
why
trying
do I
to
wanna
piss it off?
Because I'm not going to go over there to fight it. But if it wants to come here, I'm more than happy.
Why do we have to fight it? If it's over there, we just leave it over there.
Would you like to sleep tonight?
Yeah, but only briefly.
Can you sleep with a devil watching you?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if he stays over there, I can.
Okay, so here's the plan. Gaelen, it was your watch anyway. I'm going to stay up with you. And Grun and Freddy and Skippy are going to go back to sleep. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just keep 2 people on every watch.
You have already been without some sleep, Canary.
And I actually do have spell slots that need refreshing.
You of all people can't go without your sleep.
I'll do a split
I
shift.
can do it. I don't have any spells.
That is what makes the most sense, I believe, Kin Skippy.
Yeah, if you do an extra watch in the evening, I'll do an extended watch towards the morning. It should work.
We'll see if it's still here in a couple hours.
I can sleep in the wagon on the way.
All right. If you're all happy sleeping with the devil watching, I don't mind staring at it.
Well, it wouldn't be my first choice, but it's better than trying to provoke it into an attack, I think. So I guess I have to take my armor back off now.
Yep. So, Gaelen, your watch passes, and
Gaelen doesn't take his eyes off it.
It doesn't take its eyes off you the entire time. But your watch passes and it doesn't approach.
I'm just having visions from the Phantom Menace when they're on either side of the barriers,
Yes.
sizing each other up.
That's great, because I was kind of effectively picturing Darth Maul standing across the way.
So now it's Grun and Skippy's watch?
Yep.
And Fizzle.
And
And the
Fizzle.
Sword of Warning.
Yes. So Grun, you wake up and that devil is still staring at you guys.
I don't think we should stay, completely focused on the devil, so since there's enough of us, one of us should keep an eye on it. The rest of it, very dumb.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Yay. And Fizzle.
Does Skippy get one too?
Skippy, are you taking your eyes off the devil?
Well, sometimes, yeah.
Okay, you can give me a check. So you guys are alternating your attention between the devil that you see and the area around you. And both of you, not Fizzle, but Grun and Skippy, notice another one of these spiked figures creeping up from behind the wagon.
Oh, they're like velociraptors.
Working packs.
Clever girl.
So it's creeping up behind the wagon. How far? Is it hugging the wagon, or is it creeping up towards the wagon?
It's creeping up towards the wagon. It's still, we'll say it's about 60 feet from the wagon right now.
I'm going to kind of point my javelin at it, and then stare at it, and kind of gesture with the javelin for it to get back. Go back where you were.
I put my back to Grun's back and keep my eyes on the other devil.
Okay.
Y'all might want to wake us up, though. The situation has changed.
I was waiting to see what this thing does first, and then, I'll probably wake you up if it doesn't. Just bugger right off.
Initiative, please.
Well, the sword woke us up then.
Not yet. It's still well outside of the sword range.
Well, it doesn't matter. The sword doesn't have a range. It is if everybody who's within 30 feet of me when combat starts. Not a range for the enemy.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
OP.
No kidding. Well, then I guess you guys get to wake up as well.
And the Feywilds is definitely messing with my mojo. Check out that initiative roll.
Well, since I am an armorless paladin, it's a good thing other people get to go first.
Gaelen, you wake up to the sound of the sword alarm going off.
Okay, half my speed is gone getting up and prone.
Yep.
So the devil that was there all night is still where he was?
Yeah, you're sleeping on top of the wagon?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, that devil is still where he was.
So he's still where he is, but there's a new guy in town. How far away is the new guy in town?
You are about 60 feet away, maybe a little bit more.
And they are kind of flanking us, our position? Not the actual flanking, but on either side of us.
Well, the one is northwest, and this one is east.
And the one that is east is closer.
Yes, the one that's northwest is about 100 feet away, and this one is 60.
Then I have 20 movement left. I'll in the direction of that one, the one that's closer.
Sorry, you said you're going to move in that direction?
Yeah, and shoot it in the face.
Oh, okay. All right.
Not very hard. I'm going to shoot it in the face.
That is not a magic weapon or magic
No, it is not.
ammunition. Okay.
So it's even less than pitiful.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. It just kind of glances off the thing.
Duly noted. That's my turn.
Next up is it. And it fires back. Does a 16 hit your armor class, Gaelen?
It does not.
Okay, so this ball of flame goes roaring past you as you dodge out of the way, but it does smack into the back of the wagon.
This thing, so it made a ranged attack against me, right?
Yes.
Is there anything tangible to this missile?
Nope, it's just a ball of fire.
I can't deflect missiles.
Nope.
All that matters is if it counts as a ranged weapon attack.
Well, I mean, Galen's fists and feet are magical, right?
Yeah. It says ranged weapon attack when you are hit by a ranged weapon attack.
Right. And so the thing, I got to get hit too. So it doesn't even matter if he misses me. I can't do it.
No. So yeah, it smacks into the back of the wagon and it starts to burn. Next up is Grun. Again, second in line.
Awesome. All right. So how far away is the closest one?
It's 60 feet from you.
All right. So I'm going to make an attempt to throw the javelin at it. That's the one that was creeping up on the wagon, right?
Yes.
Wow. I'm glad that misses because it would have been really embarrassing if it hit him and then did no damage.
I was going to say, you also have to roll that at disadvantage, but it doesn't matter because you missed him anyway.
And also, it's not a magical weapon, so...
Does he get healed from that?
Yeah.
Anything else on your turn, Grun?
I'm going to move about 15 feet away from Skippy because if he throws another one of those fireballs, I don't want us all standing right together for him to hit us, but staying close enough to the group that I can get to everybody with it.
Okay, so 15 feet in what direction? Towards it or away from the wagon?
I'm going to say towards it, so that I'm going a little bit more towards the wagons. I mean, yeah, we got a lot of stuff there.
Pretty sure somebody needs to put out the fire.
Someone will worry about that, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, but not when there's still another devil like right there, kind of by the wagon. So I'm heading towards them, but I don't want to get too far away from it when we're surrounded by, well, at least 2 devils.
Yeah, where you're standing now, you're a 5-foot step from Gaelen.
Okay,
Probably want to be further away than that if they have things that can hit multiple people.
that's true. I guess that'll end up being 15 feet in a diagonal from where I am towards the devil, towards like his right side. Like kind of like the idea being like if Gaelen and I kept moving forward, we could then like pincer him.
Okay, so you're taking 2 steps diagonal.
Okay, so then so I'm heading southeast.
Yep, that's where I've got you. Okay, anything else on your turn, Grun?
No, I was just double checking that it's 30 feet back, and it is, so I can still get back in a turn. And I've thrown my weapon, so I'm just gonna pull out my mace and get ready. That's it.
Okay, Freddy, you wake up to the sound of the alarm, and you can see out the back door of the wagon that it is on fire.
Well, I don't like wagons being on fire, but I think because I know she doesn't have armor and need our tank, I am going to cast protection from evil.
It is a fiend, so that works. And it's a concentration up to 10 minutes, so that should be plenty of time.
You might want to get out of the wagon, too.
Yes,
it's
as
on
my
fire.
bonus action, I'm going to get out of the on fire wagon.
Yeah, that just requires movement. Well, I mean, you'd have to open the door, I guess.
I think we probably would have left the door open just given the fact that we knew there were enemies out there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so the door's open and you can walk out. It takes half of your movement to get up, and so you've got 15 more feet that you can move. Where would you like to go?
Away from anything that looks dangerous.
Does that include away from Skippy?
Does he look dangerous?
Stone Cold Killer.
Remember, don't go too far, guys.
Yeah, I'm not going too far away from Ari.
Like 15 feet, either east or west. Pick a direction.
I know the drill. We've gone through this before, so I don't get too far from it.
Okay, I'll say that you come around the side of the wagon that Skippy's on, and you're kind of hugging the wagon there.
Just for curiosity's sake, prestidigitation will allow you to instantly light or snuff a candle, torch, or small campfire. Would this fire fall under any of that?
Yes, it would, for now. So next in the order is Skippy.
Alrighty. So have we got damage on one of them?
Oh, so very, very little.
So little.
Okay, well, I'll target that one, and I'm going to do 2 shots.
And your hand crossbow does count as magical, right?
It does, yeah.
So you are 70 feet away. You're going to be firing with disadvantage.
Oh, 70 feet away. I would have to go pretty far out of the comfort range of the wagon to get within 30 feet of him, eh?
Yes.
Okay, I'll shoot once and I'll aim. And that'll get rid of the disadvantage.
Okay.
Nice.
Ooh, look at that.
Wow. So you get the 10 piercing damage and the 6 critical damage. So that's 16 total.
Yep. And I'll stay right where I am.
Sounds good. So next up is Ari. You wake up to find Freddy has left the wagon. And you can see out the back and see Gaelen and this barbed figure further away.
Okay, so I only have 30 feet of movement. It's 60 feet away. There's not a whole lot I can do from over here. So I'm going to put the fire out on the wagon if I can.
Using what?
I'm sure we have a blanket around or something. I will attempt to smother the fire.
Yeah, you can grab a blanket and smother the fire for your action, and that will take up almost all of your movement because you have to get up from prone and then move 10 feet.
The inside of the wagon is 10 feet?
The inside of the wagon is a 10-foot by 10-foot space, and you were closest to the driver's seat, kind of in the middle of the wagon, and Freddy was near the door. So you had to step through Freddy's sleeping space and then out of the wagon and turn around and use the blanket.
Okay, well, for future reference, the paladin is not going to put the squishy wizard right next to the door when there's an enemy standing outside. But let's assume that we did that this time. Okay, so that gives me, 5 feet of movement left after I put the fire out?
Yes.
I'm going to get 5 feet closer to Fred.
Okay, you are right behind Gaelen now because you had to go around the panther. Anything else on your turn?
And you said it takes a whole action to give a command to the panther and tigers to attack?
Yes.
That might be something we want to think about for next time. But, nope, I guess that's it.
Okay, back to the top of the order. We've got Gaelen.
Is it still 40 between me and him? Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, that's poopy. Oh, no, I can do it. I will close 35. I will not try to offer any cover against Skippy.
Okay.
And I'll shoot him in the teeth.
You can try.
I have to try because I need to attack so that I can flurry, so I get the 10 extra feet so I can close on him.
That's a miss.
I will spend the key to flurry, I'll get the 10 extra feet, and I will close on him.
Are you going to be kind of in front of him diagonally or beside him?
Like if I'm approaching him, I'll stay to my left.
Okay.
And so just come to the side of him on the left.
Sounds good.
And now I will use my magical weapons.
That's a hit. 2 hits. Anything else?
I'll just tell him I would run if I were you, and I'm done.
He takes your advice and moves 30 feet away. You can take an attack of opportunity if you want, Gaelen. And he's going to hurl another fireball at you.
Okay.
But he misses, and it goes flying off into the distance, not really threatening anything. So it throws another ball of fire at Skippy. Skippy, you're fine.
Whew.
So next up is Grun.
Am I able to get within melee range?
He's now 65 feet away from you, Grun.
I can't even dash that far. And the other one is nowhere closer?
You can't see the other one. The wagon is in the way.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess. And nobody's really hurt right now, is there? So I'm going to make a dash towards the one that kind of just threw that last fireball.
Okay, so straight ahead 60 feet.
Yep. Straight hit 60 feet.
Okay, so you are a 5-foot diagonal step away from the devil.
You might want to keep in mind that there are time traps around here, which I will shout at you as you are dashing away.
I was going to say, yeah, I had kind of slipped my mind a little bit when you said that. Would I have been able to slow down, Ryan?
I mean, you can move up to 60 feet with a dash. You can choose to run less if you want.
All right, so we'll say I didn't get to the dash before you said that. I'll just move 30 feet towards it. Yeah, I'll slow down at that point.
Okay. So you are now 35 feet away and didn't use your dash action.
Yes, instead I'm going to take the dodge.
Next up is Freddy.
How is Mr. Spikes looking?
He's looking okay. Freddy, you are 90 feet away.
Well, if I am 90 feet away, is the other devil just still like staring at us? It hasn't really moved.
You can't see it. The wagon's in the way.
Well, I guess just for good measure, I'm going to chase it off with some magic at second level, because those have 120-foot range.
Okay, it doesn't have any resistances to that or anything, so it takes 17 damage. And Gaelen, now it's not looking so happy, it's looking blooded. Anything else on your turn, Freddy?
Oh, I'm going to make sure I'm within 5 feet of Ariadna.
Okay, yeah, you can just take a 5-foot step forward. Next up is Skippy. You're now 100 feet away.
I was wondering, basically, is there somebody adjacent to him?
Gaelen is currently 25 feet away.
And it's running away, right?
It walked away.
Oh, okay. And what's the other one doing?
You can take a quick look, and it doesn't appear to have moved.
I'm going to ask Ariadna if I should move forward and attack.
We need it dead. Like the
Okay, then I move to within. I move 30 feet and fire.
Okay, you are still within range where you are. You're 100 feet away.
Okay, I'll do that.
Swing and a miss.
That would be my turn then.
Ariadna, you're up.
so Gaelen is the closest one to it, and the one it's thrown fireballs at twice, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I can't really do anything. I'm too far away to actually get anywhere near it, and that's not helpful. So
Yeah, you're 75 feet from it.
how far am I from Gaelen?
45.
In that case, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on Gaelen, which gives him +2 AC for the duration. 10 minutes.
Sounds good. And you don't have to move to do that or anything?
Nope, 60 feet range.
Yep, that's great. So you and Freddy both have concentration spells up now. And is that your turn?
I'm standing here in my underpants, so that is my turn.
Dylan, you're up.
I guess I can come around so that I am behind him.
So yeah, you can do that.
And I am going to and try and grapple him.
Okay.
And this is really not my MO because I'm not strong.
Wait. Do those spikes look sharp?
Well, is he completely spikes?
He's covered in spikes, yeah.
Ugh. So there's no safe grapple.
Not that you can see, no.
I'll boot him. Yeah, I'll boot him. That totally would have grappled him too.
Yep. Yeah, so that's a lot of damage. 13 damage. Anything else on your turn?
What am I saving him for? Key for flurry.
That's a hit.
Incredible.
Or minimum damages.
Yeah. One good thump and a couple of pops. I just look at him and say, fine, don't run then.
He turns to you and attacks.
Don't forget your +2 AC. It didn't have much.
So that hits.
Maybe not.
Come on, a 23 is going to hit you. You take 9 points of damage as it whips you with its tail.
Ow.
Which is a 16 hit. And 21 hit.
Oh, that sucker. Yes, 21 hits.
And you take another 5 points of piercing damage. And then you get an attack of opportunity as it moves southeast. And next up is Grun.
So it just put itself further away from me, right?
Yes, it did.
And I still can't see the other one from where I am?
Now the Golden Spire building is in the way.
I love the way that worked. Now, I can see it now. The Golden Spire's in the way. Son of a...
No, that's why I had to check the map to figure out exactly where you were.
There's no, charge attack in 5e, is there? At this point, I'm going to use the dash action so that I have enough mobility to take the same path that Gaelen just took.
Yeah, you can follow Galen's path.
Okay, so I'd like to follow Galen's path to the devil, and that's all I'll be able to do.
Okay, you are 10 feet away from Gaelen right now.
Okay.
Next up is Freddy.
So how far away is Big Spiky and Ugly from me?
135 feet.
And Gaelen is up there with him, and it doesn't appear to be changing his time zone yet, huh?
Not that you've seen, no. He's basically run back along the path that you guys took to get where you are, because you were taking a direct west path with the cart, but now the devil has deviated off that path.
Huh. Not sure. Well, I guess since Galen's fully committed, I'm gonna move up about 15 feet and cast another magic missile at it. This time just at level 1.
Okay, you smack it with 3 more magic missiles, and it's still up. Anything else on your turn?
Nope, I'm just gonna stay here.
Freddy just went. Okay, yeah, it is Skippy's turn then.
All right.
Come on, Skippy.
So he is now really far away from you, right?
Yes, he is outside of hand crossbow range now.
I'm just worried about this guy luring us basically into the Fey world.
He's just about dead.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to yell, go where you know it's safe.
Can I even get into crossbow range?
He is 150 feet away right now. So if you move 30 feet, you can get in range.
I'll do that. And I'll have to fire at disadvantage.
Can you move 30 feet?
I can if somebody who's moving 30 feet carries me.
You can dash as a bonus, remember.
Oh, I can dastard's a bonus. Yeah, okay, I'll dastard's a bonus. Okay, here comes a disadvantage.
And somehow you still manage to hit it. And not only do you hit it, you kill it.
Nice.
All right. Skippy will turn back to Ariadna and basically pump his fist in the air, saying, "Yeah, look at me."
Good job, Skippy. Everybody get back here now.
All that running.
I'm gonna go around the cart and see where that other one is if I can spot him.
On the way back, Gaelen will give Grun a pat on the butt and say, "Good hustle, King Grun."
See, they need a room.
So you guys all get back to the wagon, and you don't see the other devil.
Interesting. Okay, I'm going back to bed. This time I'm putting Freddy in the middle.
Okay.
Hey, Canary. Thanks for having that weapon.
Thank me, Uncle Clor. Maybe we can buy him around if we get where he is.
Grun and Skippy, please make perception checks.
Galen's going to do a self-heal before he
Sure.
wakes up.
Oh yeah, Galen, how much health are you down anyway?
I'm barely hurt at all. He's at about 2/3.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay on hands 5 points.
Thank you again, Canary.
The rest of the watch goes just fine, and you guys wake up after your long rest.
Yay.
Do I got any more quills to pull?
No, you're fine. You also get 1 plus your constitution modifier back in hit points if you need them.
I'll use one of my... We're taking a rest. I'm going to use one of my die to heal up a bit.
Taking a short rest after the long rest?
No, then I'll just leave it.
How much down are you?
I'm just down 6, so it's not huge.
Okay. And how did prayers go?
My prayers kind of from this point on, for the most part, will be pretty much, my standard prayers to Kelembor, followed at the end by a prayer to the Storm Lord, asking for his intercession in the events.
You don't hear anything from either of them.
Grun, what if you tried worshiping one day and the other one the next day?
Well, no, that doesn't work. I worship Kelembor. I'm asking for the Storm Lord's help, but I worship Kelembor.
Oh.
You still have to pray to him every day.
But perhaps you could pray to the Storm Lord knowing that your prayers would get to Kelembor.
Yeah, just, CC him on that prayer.
Yeah. Can you CC me back on that response for me? Thanks. I mean, I could try it, but it feels wrong somehow.
Well, why not try it, and then you'll know if it feels wrong.
Very well. Tomorrow morning.
I'm sorry you were going through this, King Grun.
We're all going through something right now. I mean, we all have our own burdens, and that's why we're doing this.
I thought we were doing this because undead were trying to take over the world.
Well, that's a big reason, but the reason there's so many undead is because of, some other individuals who've gotten us all caught up in their squabbles.
Well, know that I recognize that you're going through some difficult things, but they're nothing compared to the difficult things I'm going through. That halfling over there keeps stealing my kills.
I pat your shoulders in commiseration. Mine too.
I look shocked.
I'm gonna put my armor back on now because fighting in my underpants does not feel good.
So, it's morning, and what are you going to do?
Freddy, you want to get Fizzle to lead again?
Go back to bed.
Go back to bed.
Okay, so next time, you guys will attempt to get out of this Feywild Gate place.